Just anytime? Yeah. Okay. There's no like live camera. Hey, good morning, everybody. So happy to be here this morning. My name is Linda Starr, and we're just going to start out with a little upbeat song of mine called My Soul Says Yes. The voice beneath us still reminds me we are all one, there is no mystery to be solved, and I breathe to celebrate that I'm alive. My heart says yes to you, my beloved. I surrender to this moment, and I breathe to celebrate that I'm alive. My soul says yes to everything that's possible, a simple yes, and all my worries come unraveled, and I breathe to celebrate that I'm alive. My darkest moments now, when the sun rises, and I'm so grateful for each surprise it takes me over, daring me to try. You take me over, daring me to try. My soul says yes to everything that's possible, a simple yes, and all my worries come unrolled, and I breathe to celebrate that I'm alive. My soul says yes to everything that's possible, a simple yes, and all my worries come unraveled, and I breathe to celebrate that I'm alive, and I breathe to celebrate that I'm alive, and I breathe to celebrate that I'm alive. My soul says yes, a simple yes. My soul says yes, a simple yes. My soul says yes. All right, give yourself a hand for that. Woo-hoo. Way to get started.
Thank you, Reverend Linda Starr. Wow, my soul says yes too. You may have noticed I am not Reverend Kimberly. I am Reverend Linda Rapond. Our beloved Reverend Kimberly is just launched on her sabbatical, which in the world of ministry, when you've been a minister forever, we give you a month off to go restore yourself. This is her month, and it just started this week. She's on her way to Mexico, so this is south this way. So let's just like do this, like extend your hands and just send her all of the love and blessing, and let her know that we got it covered. She didn't have to worry about us. Okay? Yay! Blessing Kimberly. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm usually with the kids in the next room, and I'm like, oh, look, here's all my people. Hi. I like this. Our pulpit practitioner today is Nancy Clay. Our high watch practitioner is Wendy Welber, just like a little blank there, who just led us on a fabulous meditation for those of you who were here earlier. Could I say, turn off your cell phones or any devices that are going to make noise in the course of the service? And let's just take a deep collective breath together. We've arrived. Let's do this.
In the midst of my resistance, I know that I am blessed. In the shadow of a history that I don't understand, there's a seed of hope, a seed of love, a seed of wholeness that belongs to each of us. I call on spirit, I call on love, I call upon the holy strength that never leaves me alone. Cleanse my thinking, right my heart, restore my faith to the knowing that we never are apart from your love. In the midst of my resistance, I know that I am blessed. In the midst of a tragedy that I don't understand, there's a seed of hope, a seed of love, a seed of wholeness that belongs to each of us. So pour your love over me, drown me in your grace, deliver me from my old ways. Pour your love over me, drown me in your grace, deliver me of my old ways. I call on spirit, in the midst of my resistance, I know that I am blessed, and accepting responsibility for what I don't understand is a seed of hope, a seed of love, a seed of wholeness that belongs to everyone.
When we come here this morning in this place to remember what we know, the one power, the one presence, the one mind, the one energy, harmony, beauty, love, all of these traits of spirit that we see everywhere we look all the time. And we know that we are one. We are one with all of these characteristics and all of the love and all of the peace. And we're just one with each other in unknowable ways. And that's a gift that we have in our hearts that we bring with us wherever we go, including here this morning to be together by divine appointment. I'm so grateful to be here with these people. I'm so grateful to have this philosophy. I'm so grateful for the soul-stirring music and for our guest speaker. And so with great gratitude, we can say together, and so it is. Well, now I'm going to light the peace candle. I have a hard time with this lighter. There, I think I got it. Well, it has 3 wicks, and I lit one of them. And that's the light, that's enough light to bring peace into the world through each of us. And so here is our peace candle prayer. I light the peace candle to represent the light within each of us, the light of divine oneness, the Christ consciousness that resides in us all. Knowing as I light the flame of peace, we allow ourselves to feel God's peace and love deeply in our hearts so that we might send that peace and love out into the world. As we move in a brief moment of silence for all those in pain, for those victims of senseless violence, for all those suffering right now, we send the light from our hearts to theirs. And so it is. For my reading this morning is from Science of Mind magazine from last month. And there's lots of good reasons to read Science of Mind magazine. And one of them is that there is a prayer, a complete prayer written by, this time, Deborah Perdue, who is a practitioner. And she used to be a member of the center, and she lives out in the boonies, so now she goes to the Grants Pass Center. And she's a beautiful writer, and she's a book designer, and she's a gratitude aficionado. So I'm very pleased to read her words to you this morning. Rooted in the truth of our being, there is wondrous oneness everywhere, in and through everything and everyone. This divine presence animates and penetrates every living thing, and everything in this multiverse is alive with spirit. This energy expresses as love, love beyond measure, as a potent peace, wisdom, wholeness, divine guidance, and grand abundance. I know the spirit is deep within me, that I am one with this presence always. I affirm that each person reading this or listening to it is permeated and blessed with the oneness of God. We are all magnificent expressions of the one. As 2023 is ushered in, I speak my word for more peace, more love, and divine guidance to enter each of our hearts, expressing outwardly. We are the bright lights to lift up hearts and minds as we shine ever brighter in our remembering and knowing. I affirm divine guidance and wisdom is always with us, and we listen. We clearly hear what is ours to do in this new year, and we take action willingly and accordingly and gratefully. As we each continue on our healing paths, we let go of anything that hinders us or doesn't serve us. We live in grace, harmony, and goodness. As we shift our lives, I know we are helping transform this earth into a place of more light, a place of more caring, a place of compassion, a place of all justice. We are only contributing to a world that works for everyone with each forward step we take, individually and collectively. I claim 2023 as a banner year filled with miracles and expanding love and peace. I claim that all is well on deep levels. We are changing, growing, and evolving in perfect timing. With deep gratitude in my heart, I know every word is true in the mind of God. I give thanks for all of us, every single one, and our beautiful contributions to the world. I give thanks for Ernest Holmes and his compilation, Wisdom, gathered through the ages. I absolutely know this treatment has a resounding yes from the universe, that the law of mind has already affirmed it and is acting upon it. So I simply let go and let God. And together we say, and so it is.
I love that you all light the peace candle here. I see the peace pole. I love the message. I feel bear energy in this valley. Maybe a little echoey there. Bought this bear necklace on the way here. Actually, it was in one of the past towns. You know, what do they call it? The nostalgia stores in town, vintage. And it's appropriate. I love bear. I feel protection from bear, and I feel protection from this group. I feel standing up for justice and equality. So I'm glad I brought the right music today. I too am passionate about Centers for Spiritual Living because everyone is welcome. And my biggest message that I want to give to anyone that I come into contact with is that they're welcome here, you know. So this song is called Nothing Clashes with Rainbows. I used to find it hard to believe. I saw the way of the world and I wondered, what will it take? Where is my place? Who is this God that I've disgraced? But I know better now. I know better now. And I found the light on my knees when I heard that still small voice say to me, there's no disgrace, you are the place that I show up in many ways. And all those colors of your soul promise that you are made whole, 'cause nothing clashes with the rainbows, the colors of love that light the wings of the dove when clouds darken their way. Oh, nothing clashes But how can one let go of all of the shame from deep down inside? Those shades of gray, black and white, but nothing clashes with the rainbows, the colors of love, the light, the wings of the dove, when clouds darken their way. Nothing clashes with the rainbows. So let the rainbow that shines from your heart guide your way home. Nothing clashes with the rainbows, the colors of love, they light the way. It is well with my soul, 'cause nothing clashes with rainbows. So let the rainbow that shines from your heart guide your way home. Let the rainbow that shines from your heart guide your way home. Thank you. Thank you. You're very kind.
Reverend Linda Lundry Starr. And that is all original music. Linda, along with her wife Donna, are called the Preacher Chicks. You can find them on Facebook. You can find their website. I think it's called thepreacherchicks.com.org. They are newly minted ministers, and they come as a package deal. and they actually can, well, Linda can speak. We don't let Donna sing too much. I have known these women since before they entered ministerial school, and have watched their journey. And they are newly minted as ministers, and now living in Oregon. They're in Eugene, so they're almost local. And this is what I know about them. They are both deep mystics, and they are both hilarious. And that, in my book, is the combo for a really great minister. They do that very well just by being exactly who they are. So our speaker today is Reverend Donna Starr, and her topic is what's really going on. And I think we're going to find out. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Now I have to be funny and mystical. No pressure. Good morning, everybody. CSL, Rogue Valley, beautiful people. Wonderful to be here. Is anybody here for the first time? Me too. Good to have you here. I always like to ask that, just, am I standing in front of something I shouldn't be standing in front of? Okay, I'll stay right here. I can see my notes, because they're in like 38 font. I have a tissue with me. I've discovered that I'm a little weepy today, and I'm not sure why. And there's really this softness, this soft thing that's happening inside of me this morning. And when we were in meditation, I was really feeling it, and I had like tears on my cheeks. And I'm going to share something personal with you right now. 35 years ago today, I got clean. And, right? Thank you. And I just wasn't really thinking about that because I was thinking about coming here to speak today. And it's like, now when I put it together in the meditation, it's like, wow, that 35-year journey got me right here. Right here. Every single experience and step and misstep, and question, all of it led me to be here in this place where I feel so grateful and happy and so full of joy, even though I'm a little weepy. But thank you for letting me share that with you. It's bugging me. Will that help? Yay. So the month of February, our theme is curiosity as a superpower. And the weekly topic, so the topic that was suggested to us from home office, from the mothership, was to say something, it was called What Lies Beneath the Surface. I was a little put off by that title because I've seen scary movies. And sometimes what lies beneath the surface in a scary movie is really scary. You don't want to see it. And I've also been in Florida, and I've been in the swamps, and there's stuff down in there that you don't want to know what's down there. And so when I think about what lies beneath the surface, it freaks me out, But there's something to that's really important to know too. And we'll get to that in a minute. So I changed my title to be something that made me feel better, and it was what's really going on. Because the truth is that what's really going on is what's happening underneath the surface. I mean, what's the real thing? When I think about the image that comes to mind for me is the ocean, and how the ocean is sometimes very still and serene and beautiful, and you got a beautiful sunset, and it's all, very lovely. And then there are other times where the ocean is incredibly turbulent and frightening, and there's huge waves that are 100 feet. I don't know, they get big. So big waves and very upset, and that reminds me of how sometimes my mind is, sometimes my mind is very serene, smooth sailing, everything's good, and then there are other times where my emotions and my feelings, my thoughts about things, I don't know, how I'm feeling, what this person said to me, what the president, whoever it might be at the time, is doing, or not doing. There's just a lot of things that can really upset my mind and make it very turbulent. But what's really going on is that in the ocean, underneath all of that storm, down deep, it's serene. It's calm. It's unbothered, uninterested, unaffected by what's happening up on the surface. And that's where I want to live, right? That's where I want to live. But I want to know how to get from when I'm in that turbulent place to the place of serenity. And I think mostly what that's about is just remembering that it's there. I can get incredibly attached to what's happening on the surface, thinking that it's the most important thing, thinking that it's exactly what's real and the only thing that's real. But that's not true. So what that means is that I need to be curious. I need to ask some questions. I need to be curious about, one, why is everything turbulent on the surface? So I have to start asking questions like, what? What is causing this? What's making me weepy today? Why am I feeling this way? But I gotta know too that that's just the very beginning of the curiosity journey. And sometimes we don't get past that. Sometimes we don't get past the very tip of the iceberg. Sometimes we can be satisfied with the why or the what, and not necessarily the how or what do I do with it now. And I think that sometimes what happens for me and I don't know if anybody will relate to this, but I'm going to give it a shot. I have some trauma around curiosity. I have some wounds back there that go back to like school, like grade school, where it wasn't always safe to be wrong in class. It wasn't safe to give the wrong answer. It wasn't safe to make a guess. You know, sometimes you could be humiliated by your classmates or even your teacher, you know? And so what that translated into for me was I'm just gonna stay safe by not answering the question, not making a guess, and not asking questions. But then what happens is I start guessing. I start making up my own story because I don't really know what's real because I haven't asked any questions, but I need to have something to hold on to. So I make up a story about it. And anyone else do that? No, one person. Oh, cool. Me and you. You know, Linda and I were driving up here, and we were having this conversation, and we're driving on the freeway, and we're from the San Francisco Bay Area in California, so we drive a little faster than y'all. But anyway, Linda does. Yeah, and somebody cut us off, somebody cut us off, and it's like immediately I want to go to being angry. I'm mad at that person. How dare they cut me off? Didn't they see me here? How rude. What are they even thinking? And I'm taking it incredibly personally, and I've made up a whole story about what a butthead they are, and how it's all about me. It's all about me. But the truth is that, I may have cut people off in my driving history. It's entirely possible that I've done it, and I can guarantee you that if it has happened, it has never happened on purpose. I have never intentionally cut somebody off while I was driving on the freeway. But why don't I believe that about the other person? Why do I always make them out to be the villain, and I'm the victim? What if we had this conversation? What if we make up a story about the person that cut us off, since we're making up the story anyway? What if we make up a story about the person that cut us off that doesn't make them the villain? What if we make up a story about somebody who maybe is in a hurry, or maybe they worked a 16-hour shift at the ER and they just are wiped out and they got to get home, or they've been up with their sick child or spouse or something all night long? Or what if they just weren't paying attention and they were just being human, and they're feeling bad right now because they just realized they cut us off, and we're all like, what if? And what if we do that in the rest of our life? What if we find that we're not able to get information right away when we catch ourselves putting ourselves on that drama triangle? The victim, persecutor, savior. I'm going to be one of those three things at any point in time, depending on how I want to deal with you. What if we stop doing that? What if we just start really getting that we're all here together as human beings, and we sometimes make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes cause discomfort for other people? I just think that I would be happier. I think that we might all just be a little bit happier if we weren't always feeling like we were surrounded by a world full of villains. You think? I have a quote here that I want to share. And I'm going to share this quote. It's not in gender inclusive language, but it's from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I will never change his words. He says, "I am convinced that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other, and they don't know each other because they don't communicate with each other. And because they don't communicate with each other, they are separated from each other." We have as our global vision that we believe We believe in a world that works for everybody. And we believe in global transformation through personal transformation. Before we can start understanding the people around us, we need to understand who we are. Before we can start expecting change in the world, we have to make the change inside. Before we can start doing anything, we have to look at what's underneath the surface. We've got to be able to dive down there and see what's in the swamp, what's floating down there that doesn't belong, that needs our attention, that needs to be healed, that needs to be named, that needs to be pulled out and given to the light. What's in there? And when we do that, when we start cleaning it out, then that serene place that lies underneath our consciousness that's constantly being informed by the world around us becomes very vast. Because there's not a lot down there to disturb it. There's nothing hidden. So how do we do that? Well, I have a plan. I've got a plan to build the curiosity muscle. Right? You might want to take notes. I like to give people stuff that I like to give because I like to get stuff that I can go and do. You know, it's enough to know stuff, but then how do I apply this to my life? When I leave here today and I go get in my car and I get on the freeway, what kind of story am I going to make up about that journey? So I have some steps. The first step that I want to talk about is listening without judgment. So when I'm talking to somebody and they're saying stuff that I don't like, I need to start practicing, and I invite everybody to start practicing just listening. And I don't have to come up with a reason why they're wrong or tell them what I think even. But just to give space, just to listen. I've actually done this where I've listened to somebody who was saying something just so to me, it was not making any sense. And I just let them keep talking, and eventually they talked themselves out of what they were saying. And said, this really isn't, so I don't know what was happening there. They were repeating maybe something that they had heard. They were maybe afraid to be wrong. And so they were saying something that maybe they didn't really believe, but they were afraid to be authentic because they were afraid to be wrong. So learning how to listen without judgment, and not to just other people, but to yourself. Does anybody here ever experience arguing with yourself? More people this time, okay. Arguing with yourself, or even telling yourself that something that you've done is stupid, or that you're just, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. Learning to listen to yourself is one of the first steps to learning to identify the things that are under the surface of our consciousness, down in there. And so therefore you've got to be willing to be wrong. We've got to be able to be wrong about things, about how I feel about the driver in front of me or the one in back of me, how I feel about any politician, how I feel about what's happening in my community, how I feel about anything that's disturbing me. I have to be willing to be wrong about my judgment around it. And so I have to be safe to do that. Practice being safe with myself by being safe for you. So I just want to say that it's safe for you to be wrong with me. I won't judge you. I won't hurt you. It's okay. Dr. David Bruner told me one time that I was a safe place for people to be stupid. And that's important. Because how are we going to learn about things if we can't take the risk of making a mistake? We have to be able to do that. And so we have to create safe spaces for each other to be stupid, to make mistakes, to ask questions, to ask the wrong questions, to have the wrong ideas, because eventually what might happen is we might talk ourselves out of those wrong ideas. And we might come around to knowing what's really going on that caused that wrong idea in the first place. Part of being safe is being present. So when I'm listening to somebody, when you're sharing with me, whatever it is that you need to share with me, I'm going to be present. I want you to commit to being present to people when they're talking with you. And that means I'm not multitasking. That means that I'm not thinking about what I'm going to say about that when you're done. That means I'm not already scripting my response to you. That means I'm not spacing out and thinking about what I'm supposed to do when I get home or what I need to pick up at the grocery store. That means I'm really just receiving what you're saying. That's how we create safety for each other, to be able to talk about what's really going on. Don't be afraid to say you don't know something. The words "I don't know" are incredibly empowering. It takes you off the hook of having to know stuff, right? I mean, and I'm just going to say this. I think in our society, there's a lot of pressure, especially on men, to know stuff. You're supposed to know how to fix the things. You're supposed to know how to build the things and then fix the thing when it breaks. You're supposed to, and as women, we're supposed to know how to raise the kids and how to cook the whatever thing that the man hunted. And, we're just supposed to know how to do all these things, and maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. And so we end up a lot of times faking it. And then not talking about how we feel inadequate because we just faked it through that thing because I don't want to be wrong. It's a disaster. It's a big mess. Okay, just stop. So we've got to be able to say I don't know, and then allow to learn. Allow ourselves the ability to learn something we don't know. I think it's more important to be curious than to be smart. I think that those are just two different things. And I think it's also more important it's very important for us to start choosing curiosity over conflict. What if we start asking the people that make us mad, why do you think that? Why are you eating that? Why don't you do this? What if we just started asking questions? So I have a specific to-do for you to take home and practice, to build your curiosity muscles. I'm inviting you, if you're willing, to take one day a month, whatever amount of time you want to spend on it. Just take one day a month to think about your life a year from now. And ask yourself some questions about your goals. Or create goals if you haven't. Maybe one goal. Start thinking about your assumptions around that goal. Sometimes we set goals for ourselves that we don't even believe that we can do. We don't even actually think we can get there, but we still set the goal. It happens. So what are your assumptions about that? And then what are some of the things that you're doing about getting to that goal? Or what are some of the things that you need to stop doing to get to that goal? Just invite you to take a look at that. And so, why does that even matter? What does it matter? Well, I want to be happier. I want to be happier in my life. I don't want to spend my life walking around in something that I've made up. If I don't ask questions, I'm making up stories about reality all the time, and that's not reality. It's just some story I've made up in my head, and I don't want to live there. I live in a world that was created out of curiosity. It was the curiosity of spirit. The curiosity of spirit that made all of this. There's the curiosity of each and every one of us. We all were first-timers here. We all walked into Center for Spiritual Living for the very first time once, and we kept coming back because we were curious. And now look at some of us are up here doing this. Who knows? Right? And that was purely out of curiosity. We need to remember that the universe is for us, always, that God is for us, that Spirit is for us, that there's nothing against us, because God can't be against itself. We are part of the oneness of Spirit. There is nothing that's against us. The universe is for us. And when we start leaning into that, when we really just start leaning into that in a really beautiful, embraced way, we can allow fear to be transformed into excitement. We can allow our lives to unfold. We can allow ourselves to be gentle with each other and with ourselves. We can allow more joy, more happiness, more prosperity that stems from joy and happiness into our lives. And we can be here in that loving embrace of Spirit all the time. And we're able to dive deeper. We can discover new things about ourselves and let those ideas build upon ideas. And who knows, maybe those goals that we set for ourselves next year will change entirely just by asking questions about it once a month. God is everything and everywhere, and we are blessed to be a part of that. I'm going to let to pray us out. Will you play music for me? Reverend Linda Lundry Starr. We just want to listen to her play all day. In the midst of my resistance, I know that I am blessed. In the midst of chaos, we build a temple of love. I am knowing that there is only one thing happening everywhere all the time. That is the life of God, that is Spirit, that is everything. That life of God, that Spirit dwells inside of me. It is my heart, it is my mind. It is my ideas, it is everything that is on the surface and everything that dwells beneath the surface. It is all that is, and there is nothing to fear. I am filled with that joy of presence, that love, that power, that curiosity, that place that is always in creation. And I know that this is the truth of who I am. That is the ground of my being, and I know that that is true for each and every person who hears my word. And knowing that sound never stops, I know that this word creates a vibration in the universe that is transformative and healing, echoing out and out and out forever. And so I speak this word today knowing that there is only one thing happening. Life of God in our heart, in your mind, in your life, in your body, in your finances, in your relationships. It is the life of God indwelling it all. And I'm grateful for this knowledge. I'm grateful for this life. I'm grateful to be able to step back, take a look, be safe with myself and others. Heal what needs healing. Bless what needs blessed. Glorify what needs glorified. And so I release this word to the law of ever-present love, and I just let it be, knowing it is already manifest and happened, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm supposed to play a song now. So when you're home and you're being curious, my homework for you is to remember that All you are is God in this experience. That there's a substance of the very thing itself that is you.
The light, it beckons me from the wilderness of my mind. Come my way, feel your truth, awaken to the brilliance that is you. There's a knowing feeling from the depths of my soul. Divinity is leading me home. All that I am is the glory of the Holy One. All that I am is the beauty of the universe. All that I am is ever-present love. So I live for this, and I breathe for this. All that I am. And quieting that voice that tells me I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I don't pray enough. Illumination of the path ahead reveals the freedom and the power to sink into my now. And it's a knowing feeling from the depths of my soul. Divinity is leading me home. And all that I am is the glory of the Holy One. All that I am is the beauty of the universe. All that I am is ever-present love. So I live for this, and I breathe for this. All that I am, all that I am, all that I am is the glory of the Holy One. All that I am is the beauty of the universe. All that I am is ever-present love. So I live for this, and I breathe for this. Yes, I live for this, and I breathe for this. All that I am, yeah. All that I am, and all you are, all of us. All that I am, all that I am. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, Linda and Donna, you bless us with your presence. Thank you. Wow. You're a great combo. Just before we do our offering, is that Nate and Cheryl in the back? Our longest standing members. I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm so happy to see you here. It is time for us to share our gifts. You can do that by putting in the basket. If you don't already give online, a lot of people give online. You can just bless the basket as it goes by. You can write a check to CSL RV or to Unity. So whichever church affiliation you feel like you want your contribution to go to, feel free to give to that. And we welcome cash too, by the way. So repeat after me this giving affirmation. Graciously I give from a place of love.
Graciously I give from a place of love.
Knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive.
Knowing that as I give, so do
I richly receive, and so it is. So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
Let's hear some more of that.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. 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 I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I'm so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Wow, you all are beautiful. I'm hearing a little Rogue Valley choir going on.
I'm telling you, I am so blessed to be part of this community. Just, it brings tears to my eyes. I love you so much. And I have a few announcements. So let me just wipe my eyes here and get to the announcements part. There's still time to join the online foundations class that's being taught by Reverend Bonnie Anderson. It's on Thursday evenings, and it's already started. So if you want to sign up today, and you can dive right in, because they really get into the meat by week 2. You didn't miss a lot. I mean, well, you did, but you know. Karen Jordan, our practitioner, is offering her personal sacred mandala class on Thursday afternoons in March, and you can sign up for that in the fellowship hall. Be sure to check our newsletter and our meetup groups for events happening during the week for both Unity and for CSL. If you're not getting the newsletter, you can sign up for that in the fellowship hall as well. Our prayer box is in the back of the room, and you can submit a prayer request either into that prayer box or just go to our website and ask for prayer. All of us ministers and practitioners pray all week long on those requests. So that there is, you should believe in the power of prayer, or even if you think maybe you believe in the power of prayer, or maybe somebody believes, don't go home with a burden. Put it in there and we'll pray about it. I'd like to invite our practitioners to come forward and just join us as we stand for our closing prayer. Look at this crew. Isn't this amazing? You can stand up too. We know you're a practitioner. These people are available at the end of the service. If you would like one-on-one prayer, just come grab them, and they're here to pray. It's our favorite thing to do. So just blessing this day. So much gratitude for this community, for every single person that makes this place so special. Giving thanks for all that has been said, for the curiosity as a way to move forward in the world. So just so grateful for all of this. I give thanks for this day. I give thanks for all that will unfold as we step outside of these doors into our larger life. We take with us the love, the joy, the peace, the wholeness that is God itself, and that is the essence of this community. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
So grateful.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. Let's just write that. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I'm grateful.
Blessings, everybody.
Happy Sunday, everyone.